USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the all-electric Prologue SUV, there's a lot that could impress you about it. There's the generous passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged episode. I have no idea. But before we get going, I'd like to big a shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. Go over, mention Coach Unplugged. They'll give you $450 off, and they'll take really good care of you. Before I forget too, if you like this podcast, go over and check out some of our other ones like High School Hoops, Coaching Youth Hoops, 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast. If you're looking for that one defense that will work against anybody, the Funnel Down Defense Podcast, the Rule of 3 offense that will work at any level, go over and check those out. Leave a 5-star review. We would like those. But also go over and check out teachhoops.com. For coaches who want to get better. It's the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's resources, it's everything. It's what I would have wanted as a 27-year-old basketball coach. It's a roadmap to success on and off the court. And we offer a 14-day free trial because I'm a coach. I understand how it goes. Go over and check it out. Kick the tires around, see if it's for you. And if it's not, we'll part our ways and we'll say thank you and move on. But I guarantee you're going to love all the material. And the material we're always putting in teachhoops.com. But anyway, have a great day, everybody. Let's head off the podcast.
So I think a lot of that correlates down to, all the different levels. And I think, I guess if I were to try to cater it towards, I think, if you're a high school coach or you're a player, a lot of those principles and core values that you're going to teach those guys, they are going to translate to the college level. And I think it's important for players. I always tell players, especially at the beginning of the year, you need to adjust to, your coach. Each coach you're going to be with is going to be different. Figure out right away what's important to him or her. And so you might have played for a coach that emphasized rebounding. And obviously that's great if it's in your game now. And this next coach really emphasizes driving the basketball, whatever it might be. Right. Figure out what's important to him, whether it's right or wrong. That's going to be the best opportunity for you to stay in the game. And I think as a player, that's going to help you. And as a coach, mentioning that and stressing it to your players. Hey, I know your old coach taught you this, and that's great. But what I'm going to be most happy with you about is by doing X, Y, and Z. And I think once players realize right away that each coach is going to be a little different. If they can kind of adjust to their coach, it's going to help them in the long run. But hopefully that kind of answered your answer in some way.
Yeah, well, and you're in a unique position right now because you're starting a program, right? Mm-hmm. There's 0 players there now, very few, right? And you're starting this women's program at the college. Of course, you have your beliefs, right? But is it pen to paper at this point of saying, okay, this is my identity or our team's identity, right? You don't have any, you're out recruiting right now, right? So is that how you kind of start? It's because it's very similar to what a high school coach or a grade school coach has is they have no idea what their team is going to look like, right? Yeah. From year to year.
Yeah, it's a good point. To be honest with you, my focus is, to go find the best players that I can find. And then once we get them all here, We're
Yeah.
going to be playing pickup, similar to, I guess, like a high school coach. He
Yeah.
might know what he has from day one. We're going to be playing pickup. I'm going to give him, just like any kind of open gym, we're going to let him play. And from there, I'm going to really kind of evaluate what we have to work with. And like I said, if I see that we're a really good shooting team, and, I'm not going to try to, sure, in my heart, I'd love to be defense, rebounding, team together,
Yeah.
but again, I think it goes back if you want to be a good coach, I think not being too stuck in your ways and too stubborn, because there's going to be years where you have a real quick team and you need to play quicker. There's going to be years that you have a slower, taller team, and playing zone and packing it in is going to be your best strategy. So I think not predetermining it so much. You might have those one or two key elements that you do want to, obviously carry over from year to year. And
Yeah.
if you're coaching high school and you get a kid for 4 years, you could have some good carryover of certain principles and core values that you're teaching. But if you're a middle school coach and the sixth graders are moving up to middle school, and this will be the first year and maybe only year that you get them, I think you need to be really flexible with what you're teaching from an offensive defensive standpoint. And those other things of playing together, hard work, those should be carried over kind of regardless of the players that you have. But as far as the
Yeah.
style of play, I think you need to really look at how long are we going to have these guys for, and what are their strengths. And then once you figure that out at the beginning, zone in on it, and keep stressing it on a daily basis.
And what are some of those early signs that the well, what are some early signs that it's working, that this identity, or the identity is coming out, or what you're preaching? Maybe not so much of the, of course you can see it in the stats, but what do you look for beyond the stats that it's working?
I think, players talking amongst each other.
Hmm.
I think it's funny if you're able to just kind of sit back as a coach sometimes. Again, we stress offensive rebounding, which, real quick, if you're teaching rebounding, I always tell coaches teach offensive rebounding, because as a byproduct, you'll become great at defensive rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'd love sitting back sometimes just in the stands, and let's say we're in between some pickup games, the guys are sitting around, and you'll hear guys, oh, I got 4 offensive rebounds that game, or oh, you didn't get a rebound on me. And so you can see, even though they might not know that I hear it,
Yeah.
they're talking about it, and you can see that they're starting to buy in, because they're not talking about some crossover that they had, right? And they're talking about rebounding, which is hopefully what I've kind of gotten into their head. So I think it just depends, but I do think when players are talking amongst each other, I think that's a really good sign. Using a different example, maybe we talk about 1-2 footwork on shooting, stepping into
Hmm.
your shot every single day. And you see your players constantly on their own in the gym working on those type of, footwork mechanics that we've talked about. I think, we talk about ball handling, and I've given them some drills. And again, you're able to get in the gym and you see them working on those drills by themselves. I think those are great kind of indicators that they're picking up on what you're talking about. Being a great teammate, are they, a player falls down? Are they running over there, picking them up? Are they encouraging them, when they're out of the game? I think those are great indicators. Anything that you can do as a coach and see the guys without them seeing that you see them
Right. Yeah.
is a great sign, because you know that they're doing it genuinely. They're not just doing it to impress you. And so, as a coach, try to find ways that you can peek your head into the door, sneak in. At our place, we kind of have an upstairs where I can hang out upstairs. We got some workout stuff that we can work out on, and I can watch our guys from the top without even them seeing me sometimes. So I enjoy doing that. But yeah, I think if you can, see your players talk amongst each other and do the stuff that you've taught them without them knowing that you're watching them, I think are good signs.
Yeah, no, that's important. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and something just popped into my head because it comes up often, and I hear it through our groups. I hear it from parents, coaches, whatever. Kind of now at your level, you're seeing the result of the work that's been done at the lower levels, even starting at a very young level. It's just maybe just off the top of your head, like what are the three things you think that players are lacking today and that needs to be brought it needs to be emphasized a little bit more in high school and even at grade school?
Well, I think shooting, you can never have too much shooting.
Hmm.
Nowadays, I don't, I don't know everywhere, but it seems like so many gyms have a shooting gun.
Hmm.
I don't know your thoughts on that, Coach, but uh, we didn't have that when I was growing up. I didn't see a
Hmm.
shooting gun until I got to college, and now so many high schools have them, and I
Yeah.
think it's a shame that there's not more time spent on them. I think if you're a high school kid, you should be begging your coach to get into the gym before school starts, live on the shooting gun. You're able to get up 10, 20 times more shots than players could back in the day when they had to go chase down their rebounds.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing is, you know, playing, if this, I guess, applies more to younger players,
Yeah.
sixth, seventh, eighth grade, play with older players, I think, as much as possible.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I think that's not done enough nowadays. Growing up, I played with older players all the time. Number one, it's you don't want to lose because you lose in a pickup game, it might take you a while to get back in. You're playing with older players, and so you don't want to turn the ball over, or you might not get the ball again.
Yeah.
You don't want to take a bad shot, or you're going to hear about it and you might not get the ball again. And as I mentioned, the first thing, when you're open, you need to knock down shots, right?
Yeah.
You're playing with
Right.
older
Right.
players. You're
Yeah.
not going to be often the best ball handler. You're not going to be able to drive all the way to the basket. So I think you get so many positives out of playing with older players. And I encourage, in sixth grade, once you're old enough, you're not going to get hurt. But once you start maturing and you're able to play with the eighth, ninth graders, you're a ninth grader, find every opportunity after your ninth grade practice, hang around and see if the varsity needs an extra player for practice or
Mm.
open gym. I think that's can really help players' games. I think so many players now get stuck into this mode of just individual workouts all day and doing the newest cool workout and working on a different move, and you don't get the same translation always when as you would get if you were playing in a game. Getting a feel for the game. Uh, so shooting number one, getting a better feel by playing with older players, I think would be
Mm.
number two. And then I think team defense, is something that can really be taught at a younger age and can really be improved. I made a YouTube video recently talking about being a great defender, and something that every single player can control is taking pride. You should try to be the best team defender on your team because that's all mental, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We would love to be the Kawhi Leonard and be 6'8" with huge hands and athletic ability and be able to slow down LeBron James. But the truth is, based on your physical ability, your quickness level, you might be limited on how much you can really defend on the ball. However, there's no excuse to be late on help side defense. There's no excuse to not call out screens, to talk about situations on defense. Hey, this is another great thing about playing pickup, playing ones and twos. Hey guys, we're down. They need a two to win, right? We're playing to 11. It's 9 up. I'm talking to my teams. I'm being a great team defender. No twos, no twos. We're switching every screen. And so I always took a ton of pride in that. As a coach, I never get on my players when they get blown by on the ball. That's something that I don't know if I'm very unique in that. I don't get mad at the players that get scored on because they didn't mean to get scored on, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
and
Right.
and yeah,
Yeah.
we can get in the gym afterwards and we can do some weightlifting, we can teach some techniques, we'll watch some film. Hey, now if it's something like he's left-handed, we've let him go left 3 times, okay, that's something maybe different.
Yeah.
But in general, if a player is trying his hardest, which they usually are in a game, I'm going to get more upset about the help defense. Those are the reasons that we got scored on more so than the guy guarding the ball because he's doing everything he can. So kind of in a long-winded answer, I'd say players need to become better shooters. I've never, I just watched a high school game yesterday. Good player that we're looking at recruiting. He had 20 points, kind of a combo guard. But I texted my coach afterwards and I said, I don't know if he shoots it well enough. And as you get to higher and higher levels, you're not going to be able to get to get all the way to the basket. You have to develop your outside shooting ability, because your athletic ability is going to hit a peak. But your shooting can continue to improve and improve, and not only to be able to knock down shots, but also to create closeouts. If you're not going to shoot it, you're able to create a closeout and drive by the guy. But yeah, I told my head coach, I said, I like him. He can handle the ball. He's quick, but I don't know if his shooting is going to translate over here. And so shooting, I think, is extremely important. Playing with older players as much as you can to get a better feel for the game. And then number 3, becoming the best team defender. If you're a player listening to this, there's no reason why you should not be the best team defender on your team. There's no excuse for it. And if you're a coach, I encourage you to really get on your help defense a lot more than the player guarding the ball.
I like that.
Because again, it's not, he's doing all he can,
That's
but
a really
where's
good
the
point.
help at? Where's the help?
No, I love that. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, that's a really good point about the help defense and get on the help defense a little bit more. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You mentioned a lot about scrimmaging pickup games, okay? Which I think when you and I were growing up, and I'm a little bit older than you, that's all we did. I mean, literally every day we were outside doing, pickup games all the time. We didn't need a gym. We played outside. We had our one pair of tennis shoes that we wore inside and outside, right? And are we playing too many organized games as a whole? And you know what I'm talking about, AAU type of style. Is that are they?
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Yeah, I'll just maybe leave it at that, and you can maybe just address it how you want to address it.
I think yes and no, and I'll break it down. I think I think kids like to find reasons to maybe be lazy. So I played my AAU game this Saturday. I'm taking Sunday off, Coach. I played 2 games this weekend already. However, I don't believe you can ever really play too much. This isn't a sport where you're going to be so worn down that you can't. I never could recall a day in my life when I was a player where I was just too worn out to play. The whole thing in the NBA now, what do they call it? Where they take a day off, for rest. I forget the term that they use, but it wasn't a thing in the NBA back in the day, and it should definitely not be a thing as you're growing up as a player. So I don't think you can play too much. I think if anything, you can become too much of a workout player. Oh, no, guys, I'm not going to play pickup today. I got my workout with my trainer later on. I'm not buying it. A real player, you do it all. Like you said, I mean, you should be playing as much as possible. Oh, we've only got 9. Okay, we'll play 4-on-4. We'll play 3-on-3, and we'll have a team ready to sub in. You cannot simulate game-like movements, game-like feel for the game in those one-on-one instructions and drills. And And I think, you kind of asked about maybe AAU being too much. I didn't play AAU growing up. We didn't really have it in my area. So all I did was play pickup all the time.
Yeah.
Now if I could go back and we had it, I would certainly play in AAU. But like I said, it would not stop me from continuing to play in addition to it. I think playing is good, especially if you're not, sitting on the bench. Now, if you're traveling and you're sitting on the bench and you're just there to have a name on your chest and, be part of the team, you're better off going and finding pickup games somewhere else. But no, I don't think you can play too much as long as you're not getting in your head that, okay, I did enough. A player that cares about it, you should be playing your AAU on Friday, Saturday, and you should figure out where are the pickup games on Sunday. If you're a player, you should know within a 30 to 45-minute radius, especially if you can drive, where are all the pickup games? What time do they start? And I'll say this, here's a tip for you younger guys. If you're in ninth grade, ninth grade, it was a high priority for me in ninth grade to find a friend that was already driving that played basketball. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't have my
That's a good
license
point.
yet.
Yeah.
I quickly figured out who else cares about basketball like I do. And that person became one of my best friends, no doubt about it. And suddenly I'm telling him, we're playing over here. Let's go over here. This is where we're going. Give him some gas money. And now you got to ride. There's no excuse to, and that's why it's important to be able to play with older players. They're not going to want to take you with them if you can't hang with the big boys, but play with them early on as much as you can. And then they're going to take you, we would sneak into, I grew up in Woodland, California, which is about 25 minutes from UC Davis. And, it was 9th, 10th grade. And me and my buddies were sneaking into the Davis Rec Center, playing with grown men, as much as we could, at least once or twice a week. And so I know I gave you another long answer, but I don't believe you can play too much, especially with games. I think players need to be careful that they don't have this mindset of being too tired. I lift weights every day now. And in order to maximize my weight gain, they say take a day off. And even that's a struggle for me from a mental standpoint. But basketball wise, there's just no excuse to not be playing every day. I think.
Well, I think about I think in my younger days, of course we didn't have a phone in our pocket, right? But everybody just happened we met. I don't know how we organized it. It was just everybody knew we're going to go play, right? Or even if it's just at the very least one-on-one, right? I remember playing. This is one of my fondest memories. There was this. We would do. I don't even know how we did this. It was one of the dads loved to play. And so we would, I think a lot of times it ended up being 2-on-2 or a lot of times 2-on-1. It was the two younger guys versus the dad, right? And we would play for hours, just the three of us, sometimes four, right? If we could find a four, but we didn't make an excuse, right? Oh, we only have three players, right? It's like, no, we're going to go out and play. And we played, right? Yeah. So
I think you hit around the nail, regardless of the numbers. One-on-one is great. That's one of the best. Play one-on-one from top of the key, play one-on-one starting from the free throw line, play one-on-one with a dribble limit, play one-on-one in the post. We'd play even as a guard. We're going to start in the post. Just roll the ball to yourself and you're starting in the post and you have a dribble limit. The other thing is, I want to tell players out there, don't be afraid to play outside. We did it all the time growing up. We didn't have access to these indoor gyms. It's not going to ruin your knees. If you fall down, you're going to be tougher. There's just no excuse. Find out where you can play, even if it's outdoors, and go play. It'll make you a better shooter if you can shoot outside as well.
Yeah, amen to that. Well, Coach, this has been amazing. I appreciate your time today. Any last words? And then also, where can coaches find you?
Yeah, I guess just as far as last words, speaking to players, like I'm going to reinforce again, any players watching, play as much as possible, become great at shooting. That's never going to hurt your game. And as far as coaches go, going back to just kind of think about your team identity from the beginning, figure out what kind of players you have, and really reinforce that on a consistent and constant basis. And then, where you can find me, I'm very active on Twitter. I don't know if you can post it or something, but
we'll definitely put it in the show notes. Yeah.
But it's my first name, Sam, the number 1, and then New Ski. So NEWSKI. And then I'm also really active. I've started a YouTube channel to really kind of cater towards middle school and junior high kids, talking about shooting and different fundamentals. But I've also started kind of making more videos that also help, I think, coaches as well. And so my YouTube channel is Shot Doctor, @ShotDoctor. And I've actually just posted a rebounding video, and I'm going to kind of follow that one up with actual Colorado State film. I got it from 2013, Coach. Still a film of what I call the best rebounding drill ever created. And we did it for about 30, 40 minutes every day at Colorado State.
Oh,
wow.
And
so I'm just now kind of working on breaking that up, explaining it, and I'll be posting that on YouTube. And that's definitely going to be kind of, focused for more for coaches to implement that in their practices.
Yeah. Well, let me know when that's ready. We'll share that out with the group too. But we'll put all your information in the show notes. That's amazing that you got Shock Doctor. That's my nickname, by the way. So I'm self-proclaimed from you there. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Coach. Thank you again for your time. This has been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to see where you go from here. And maybe we'll talk at the end of your first season once you get rolling too. So let's keep in touch.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time. And as I said, I'm real active on Twitter. I love talking hoops with anybody out there. And follow us. That's another thing. Let me throw that out there. Follow my program, Southeast Arkansas Community College. We are a new program. We're just working on getting the athletic side up there, but we do have some social media, and we'll be out there.
What's the mascot?
We are the Sharks.
Sharks. There we go. Okay, well, go Sharks.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like it. Go over and check out our other podcasts, High School Hoops, Teacher Side Gig, and then go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, Rewards members save $80 on the Master Forge 4-burner gas grill, now just $149. Plus, Rewards members save $900 on the Lowe's exclusive Hisense French door refrigerator, now only $999. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.